up on City Beat, we remember those whose lives were lost on September 11th, 15 years ago. We'll take you inside of a beautiful memorial at Palm Mortuary in Northwest Las Vegas that gives visitors a chance to learn more about the lives of those lost during the tragedy. Also, two-time Olympian Connor Fields visits City Hall, where he was honored by our very own City Council. He tells us what it was like to not only compete on behalf of the United States, but the feeling of bringing home the gold in the BMX competition in this year's Olympics. Plus, their artwork is out of this world. See how local artists are using science fiction to inspire their latest pieces of art and give us a glimpse into what they think the future holds. Plus, we'll show you how you can get a first-hand look. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of City Beat. I'm Melissa Dudon, filling in for Nancy Byrne just for the show. Right now we are inside of our very own KCLV studios. This is our control room where all of our behind the scenes team works to put our shows on the air. We have a great show for you today. First, we must start with remembering those whose lives were lost on September 11th. This year marked the 15th anniversary of that tragedy that killed thousands. Locally, Palm Mortuary in Northwest Las Vegas put together a beautiful tribute to those who lost their lives. Photojournalist Eric Sorensen has put together this amazing story of remembrance.
I'm here today because Palm Mortuary has done a wonderful thing to go to all of the trouble to display these flags for everyone lost on 9/11.
The idea came from in 2006 at the 5-year anniversary. We were looking for some way to recognize and memorialize the anniversary of 9/11, and Colonial Flag Foundation had this program set up from Utah.
My friend Bobby Pope is visiting here from North Carolina, and before these wonderful flags are taken down this year, I wanted to show her this incredible sight.
I'm very emotional being here today because I don't think we should ever forget this. These people gave their lives for just an unbelievable event, and as Americans we should never forget it.
When you walk in the field and you visualize that each one of these flags represents a person, and it's hard to imagine if that was this many people standing around us. It would be overwhelming.
It's personal. Oh, this was a firefighter. Driver of the engine number 252. This guy liked collie dogs. It's just beautiful.
Every time we do it, I am proud of how it turns out. But for some reason this year, and maybe because it is going to be the last year that we do this, I am even more proud of the team, the volunteers that came out and helped. The outpouring that I have heard from the community is just tremendous and overwhelming.
We can just never forget what all of this means.
Such a beautiful story and definitely lives we will never forget. Keeping with patriotism, there was a roar outside of Las Vegas City Hall on September 7th, the roar of motorcycles with a cause. We were there when the nation of patriots stopped by to be honored by our city council and to get the word out about the outstanding work they do for our veterans.
Preparations began bright and early in front of City Hall to welcome the Nation of Patriots. They are wrapping up this year's ride across the country, transporting an American flag and raising money.
The Nation of Patriots was founded to raise money for wounded vets. Everybody knows when vets come back suffering from one malady or another, that ultimately the VA will take over and take care of their medical needs. But there's always some financial needs that the VA can't address. So the Nation of Patriots was formed to try to help that out a little bit, using the flag as a fundraising event. Everybody that you see here this morning donates for the privilege of escorting that flag.
They've been doing this for 8 years. The first year the organization struggled a bit, but it has grown to be more successful every year. There are several regions in the group, and whatever money is raised in each region, that money stays in that region.
And I'm very proud to say that Las Vegas has sort of led the way. Of 100 stops across the nation, Las Vegas has always raised more money than any other stop in the country. Beyond that, for the last 3 years, Las Vegas has raised more money than the rest of the country combined.
So, with their motorcycles lined up out in front of City Hall, the group headed inside to the council chambers, where Mayor Carolyn Goodman and the City Council honored them for the work they do on behalf of our vets. Councilman Stavros Anthony handled most of the ceremonial because normally he takes part in the ride.
On behalf of the entire city of Las Vegas, Mayor Goodman, myself, and the entire city, I would like to issue you a proclamation proclaiming today the Nation of Patriots Day in the city of Las Vegas. Congratulations and great job, all of you, supporting our men and women who have been wounded in the line of duty. So thank you very much, Larry. Good job.
The flag that is carried by the motorcyclists across 48 states may not be as large as the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue flag, but it plays a large part in helping veterans in our country. Last year, $50,000 was raised in the Las Vegas area alone, helping 20 veterans in our community. The Patriots are hoping to top that figure this year.
If you'd like more information on the Nation of Patriots or would like to be a part of the ride next year, go to nationofpatriots.com. You don't need to drive a Harley to take part. Any street road safe motorcycle is welcome. Well, from heroes on motorcycles to a hero on a bicycle. That's right, two-time Olympian Connor Fields was honored at the City Council meeting as well.
Before heading into City Hall to be honored by our mayor and city council, Connor Fields stopped to pose with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, who just happened to be on hand to display their flag for the Nation of Patriots. He also took time to be interviewed by the media and by us here at KCLV-TV. We asked him to share the feeling of not only representing the United States at the Olympics in Rio, but taking home the gold in the BMX competition.
For me, crossing the finish line, it was interesting because I've dreamed about that day for over 10 years. You know, I've sat in class daydreaming about it, I've laid in bed daydreaming about it, and for it to finally happen and to come true, it almost felt like a dream, you know, and I've lived that moment so many times in my head, but when it finally came true, it was almost hard to believe at first, but it was just an incredible feeling.
Today, September 7th, is Connor Fields Day in the city of Las Vegas. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Bob Beers headed up the ceremonial for Connor during the City Council meeting, expressing how proud we all are to have such a shining athlete reign from Las Vegas. He's been into this sport since he was 7 years old and hopes to encourage other people to give it a try.
There's 4 tracks in the valley. The one I started at is over in North Las Vegas. But there's 4 tracks in the valley. I still go to all of them. You know, it's a great family sport, and I hope more kids get out to the track.
Well, as we mentioned, he is a two-time Olympian, bringing home the gold in Rio this year. He also competed in 2012, the London Games, where he placed 7th. Of course, with most successful athletes are supportive parents. Connor's mom actually was the one who found a flyer on BMX cycling and showed it to her son. For the many years to follow, Connor's parents made sure he got to practice every day. Congratulations to all of them. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to show you how business leaders, faith leaders, and city leaders are working together to tackle tough social issues, more specifically, addiction. We'll be right back.
Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Larry Rogers. As a senior engineering technician for Public Works, Larry has the important job of helping keep our children safe. He is our school traffic safety specialist. His top priority is making our roads, crosswalks, and traffic signals safer for students and parents as they go to and from school. Most recently, Larry was able to address traffic issues in Ward 6 near the Imagine School on Grand Montecito. Through Larry's efforts, afternoon pickup of students by parents has become much smoother and safer. Larry is an unsung hero working behind the scenes to keep our children safe. Congratulations, Larry Rogers, the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, several years ago, Mayor Carolyn Goodman, along with other city partners, identified several areas of concern in our community, including human trafficking and homelessness. Addiction is also on that list. And on September 8th, organizations from all areas of addiction, recovery, prevention, and intervention gathered at City Hall for an interfaith workshop. The goal was to have a frank and fruitful conversation between those organizations and our faith community.
Away from the glitz and glamour Las Vegas is so well known for, there are social issues that are in need of attention in order to strengthen our community. Back in 2011, a conversation between city leaders and interested partners focused on several main areas of concern, from homelessness to education. That conversation has since evolved into what is now known as the Mayor's Faith Initiative. As part of that initiative, this interfaith workshop was held recently at City Hall to address one of the identified social issues, addiction.
This is the critical piece, person by person.
Mayor Carolyn Goodman kicked off the event in the City Hall Now Cafe, filled with numerous businesses, nonprofits, law enforcement agencies, and other entities. Also in the mix, leaders from a diverse cross-section of faith leaders in the Valley to talk about addiction and recovery and the role that community plays in ending the problem. As part of the Mayor's Faith Initiative work group on addiction, Nyla Christian played a major role in organizing the workshop.
That what we're teaching faith leaders is they're like first responders. People come to their church, they come to their faith community when they're hungry, when they're unemployed, when they're having some sort of strife in their family.
Nyla says each group, each individual in attendance has something to offer.
I think what we're really looking at is sharing solutions. What's working? What's not working? How are families affected? What are you doing in your congregation or your particular faith community that works better than other things? And how can we implement those in our community? And how can City of Las Vegas be part of supporting that conversation?
There are several steps involved when trying to help those who are addicted. One is intervention. The other is helping them along with recovery. A spokesperson from one of the sponsors says that is a step in which many people fail.
And so there's this period of time where people don't necessarily embrace recovery right off. They come out of treatment, they don't know where they're going, they don't know what they're doing, they don't have their same friends. If they go back to their friends, their life goes back to that, and then they relapse. And so recovery is a really important element. So at Foundation for Recovery, we fill that gap with peer support. So we bring in people who have embraced long-term recovery, and we provide that hand-holding.
Recovery is one area where our faith community can really step in.
Las Vegas is extremely strong in recovery. That's why we're also having this conversation, because we want the community to know that there is support, there is help. I personally recover out loud specifically so that people can understand that we don't have to hide, that there is help, there is support right in your faith community. And we're going to teach some of the faith leaders today some core competencies on how to identify addiction, what it looks like, and then what are the treatment resources for people, for families in their congregations.
So here at City Hall, hundreds came together to exchange their ideas on what works what doesn't work, and what we all need to work on more together. And the bottom line message is intervention and recovery are vitally important, but may one day never be needed if we make prevention a top priority.
So it's not only intervention. All of us can think of people that have been absolutely destroyed by drugs. But the reality is, it is about intervention, and it's really critical that we do something about prevention.
As a woman who publicly and compassionately shares her long-term recovery with our community, Nyla Christian says she couldn't agree more.
But the bottom line is there is no socioeconomic key to it. There is no race, no gender, no nationality, and especially no faith that is safe from addiction. So we're here to talk about how we can solve the problem and address, as Mayor Goodman said, prevention. Instead of intervention, we want to address prevention. We want to make sure that we are making people aware of resources and preventing the issue before it begins.
Some amazing work always being done with the Mayor's Faith Initiative. Well, switching gears to some outdoor fun, preparation is underway at Desert Breeze Park as fans are counting down the days to this year's Cross Vegas competition. Sue Levitt caught up with some of the cyclists and shows us what they do to be ready for the big race.
I stopped doing triathlons and I thought I'm going to give it a shot, and man, I'm just falling in love with it. It's so fun.
Bruce Balch has been cycling for 30 years. He's here tonight to get a feel for the course, so he'll be ready for the big cyclocross race on September 21st. This is when a portion of Desert Breeze Park will be transformed into an obstacle course for bikers.
There's going to be 150 guys out on this course, and it's tight, and it's turns and uphills and sand and the whole, thing, so you never know what'll happen.
For those not familiar with the sport, cyclocross is a form of bicycle racing that takes place on a course featuring grass, sand, and steep hills, plus obstacles that require cyclists to quickly jump off their bike, pick up and run while still navigating through the obstacles. Cyclocross is a World Cup sport, unique and fairly new to the United States, attracting some of the best riders from all over the world.
So to have that caliber of event here in our backyard, matter of fact, my office is about 2 miles from here, it's just over the top exciting. And I just wish people really understood the magnitude and the caliber of athletes that are coming to participate right here at Desert Breeze.
Are you happy with your race? Yeah. You happy? Good.
And some of these athletes include fan favorite Caroline Manny. The reigning French national champion just took first place September 11th in the cyclocross competition in Rochester. She'll be on the start line on the 21st, hoping for the win to leave her mark here in Las Vegas.
It's going to be huge because this is the number 2 cyclocross race. There's 2 in America now, which, ever since we had the World Championships, and yeah, it's going to be on. I mean, the guys are real serious.
And what makes this event even more fun for our community, for those who don't want to compete with the pros, there's the Wheelers and Dealers race.
I'm going to do the Wheelers and Dealers race. It's my 5th year, racing with the road bike action. It's just a fun thing for me. I love doing it. It's, I'm representing, the magazine I write for and racing with friends. Now, what better evening could you ask for?
Wheelers and Dealers are people who work in the cycling industry. The race gives them a chance to compete in the sport they love without the pressure.
I don't have any expectations because I've actually never done an official cross race. I've practiced, I've done bicycle races for years. Matter of fact, about 25 years ago, I did a road race against Lance Armstrong. But this is a whole different world, and I'll be 54 this year. So, in reality, I'm just going to participate, and I'll do the best I can. But I just don't have any expectations.
You're just going to have fun.
I'm just going to have fun.
And the advantage to spectators who come watch this year's cyclocross races?
It's in a venue. It's familiar. It's in a park. Everybody can see it. You can take your kids. There's barriers, there's drinks, food, protection. It's a great event.
Well, it's hard, but that's what we love about cyclocross, right?
For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
This is the 10th year Las Vegas will be hosting the race. If you're interested in attending, you can get more information at crossvegas.com. Well, have you ever wondered what our future holds? A lot of artists wonder the same thing, but they are using their visions to influence some amazing pieces of art. When we come back, we will show you some artwork that is definitely out of this world.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes out the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled between
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. This cat makes me make art. He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, you may not know it, but when our new City Hall was in the planning stages, it was very important to city leaders to make space available to showcase local artists. One of those spaces is called the Chamber Gallery on the 2nd floor overlooking the lobby. Right now, the exhibit is called Science versus Fiction, where artists show their ideas of what our future might hold.
Some of the pieces in this exhibit portray beauty. Some are a little more intimidating, but all share a similar theme: what our future might be in the event we do or do not take care of our Earth. Daniel Miller has been a sculptor most of his life. Now he's concentrating on painting. He says he was thrilled to be asked to participate in this exhibit called Science versus Fiction: Climate Change and Future Plans.
My painting here, called Inheritance, is based on a climate model that I read about some years ago that suggests that global warming will drive the polar caps to melt, which will raise the oceans and flood the lands, but then it will also change the salinity and the direction of all the ocean currents and throw us back into another ice age. So when that happens, of course, all the water gets locked up in the polar caps, and you might see something like this.
The artists were told to consider certain questions, such as what will climate change ultimately produce of the human race? Will humans move to another planet or develop a home under the earth? Will our destructive nature allow others to live and let live? Stuart Freshwater's piece is called Rendering a Carbon Blow to Earth. He used charcoal for his piece, and he says he enjoys seeing the various forms of art used to express a common theme.
I think it's a good show. There's varied artistic renderings going on, and a lot of people adapted their own artwork, for the theme of the show, but it seems like it works really well.
This piece looks at technology's influence on our future.
It's about technology and learning and the way that we learn and the way that I see that in the future.
Some of the art here gives an optimistic view of what is in store for our planet. Some are a little more pessimistic. But most importantly, this exhibit opens the door to discuss matters that are important to our lives and our world.
The show's great. I love seeing all the different ways this theme has been interpreted.
I think shows like this are a good opportunity to open up dialogue, like the dialogue that we're having, about the environment, about the future, about many other topics that are worthwhile to discuss.
This exhibit runs until September 22nd on the second floor of City Hall. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of City Beat. Before we go, we're going to leave you with some amazing artwork from the 5th Street School. This is called Aesthetic Primary. Artists were chosen based on their focus or goal in art making being aesthetic visual beauty. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next time.